hope you're feeling amazing. And oh my goodness, I can't believe it. We are in episode 50. Oh my God. Okay. Little parenthesis here. You don't understand how freaking excited I am. This is so huge. I never thought I would see myself in this point. We're halfway through to 100, and it is so rewarding that this is going on right now. Now, I know that you know that this is a little different than usual. It's just that it's extremely hot right now in Portugal, and I don't feel like I want to just burn my back by being close to the window. So, we're keeping the lights a little dimmer, a little cooler, and we're going to have a little bit more of a darker vibe in this video, okay? But let's forget all that. This episode feels really personal to me because I'm in a season of trying to rebuild my routine. It is hot. It is tiresome. We're going through exam season. We're going to finish a new year when it comes to school, and I feel overwhelmed. I feel tired. I feel burned out, and I don't want to have just like the cute little like Instagram, Pinterest routine. We're talking about real curated type of routines. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. You don't need another perfect routine. You need to land onto the one that actually works for you. Here's the thing. We are misdiagnosing every single day burned out as laziness, and that is so incorrect. Just because you are burned out does not mean that you're lazy. It's the complete opposite. You need to slow down and figure out what's going on in your life. The typical routine advices are, they just don't work. You are assuming that you're motivated and you're regulated and stuff is going well, when in reality, you're not. You're dealing with work, with school, with so many things going on in your life. If you're a parent, if you have kids, if you have older family members that you take care of, if you don't specify your routine and you actually do something that creates a balance in between taking care of everything that you need to take care of, but also taking care of yourself, you're just going to go down on a loop and in a spiral. So here's the thing. I thought that waking up at 6 a.m. and journaling and meditating and working out and doing yoga would fix everything. But by 10 o'clock, I was spiraling and exhausted once again. Because what happens here, and the root cause of it, is that your nervous system can't organize when it's in survival mode, period. If you are going through survival, it's just not going to work. And one of the things that we help to explain is the whole fight, flight, and freeze. So when you're in a situation where your body is like really stressed out, what happens is you have one of three reactions. You either fight it. So, for example, if we assume that you're in a situation where, let's do a hypothetical, you are going through work or through exam season and you're going through a really hard time, you're going to do one of three things. You're either going to freeze and you're not going to know what to do, and you're just going to be in this status of, oh my God, I don't know if I should go forward, if I should go backwards. And then you have the flight, which is you run away from everything and you cocoon yourself out of society. And you're like, I don't want to think about it. I don't want to see it. You're just creating a barrier. Or you're going to fight. You're going to be like, oh, I'm going to try even harder than I normally do. But that's just going to create all kinds of speech patterns in your mind. And that's just going to lead into you not even realizing what is going on in your day to day or trying too hard to compensate in a different spot. Let's break this Pinterest routine myth and let's actually create a structured routine that works regardless of how you are feeling. First, you need to understand that your nervous system comes first and productivity comes later. My advice is you need to ask yourself three questions. Am I tired or wired? Do I feel safe? And what would support me today? Because regardless of everything that you need to do, if you're doing them while you're tired, exhausted, frustrated, angry, you're not going to be able to do anything. Like productivity goes out the window in that moment because you're not going to be able to do anything at all. I can tell you right now that to me, the worst feeling is having to do anything from school or work or even this podcast while feeling absolutely horrifying with myself in any sort of way, either because I'm tired or because I didn't slept well or because I didn't feel good, because I'm sick. Life goes by, and 9 times out of 10, you don't have to be concerned yourself so quickly about the things that you need to do. If you create a good structure, if you create a good schedule, if you figure out your routines, you will be able to actually do what you want to do. So, one thing that really has helped me to change my habits is called habit stacking. So, what is habit stacking? Is adding a habit that you need or want to do to an already existing habit. So, how can you go about and do that? So, here's an example. Let's imagine that you really, really want to start to consume more water because maybe you have been consuming less, maybe because you feel like you're not getting the hydration that you need to get. So, how can you habit stack the act of drinking water to habits that you already have? Simple. When your alarm goes off in the morning, you drink a glass of water. When you go and have lunch, you drink a glass of water. When you have dinner, you drink a glass of water, and so on and so forth. Anything that you already know that you will innately do, you add that habit. If you want to do your skincare more often, add it maybe when you brush your teeth. You brush your teeth, you do your skincare right after, or you do it before so that you know for a fact that until you finish your skincare, you can't brush your teeth. You almost create a condition to why you should do that habit along with it. And you can do all kinds of things. Do deep breaths while lying in bed when you're feeling anxious or nervous, drinking water before you're getting up, moving more slowly, maybe having a slower morning. Maybe you put your alarm a little sooner than average and you take a slower morning. And you can do so many things. And another thing that I see a lot of people have is like these rigid routines that just don't work. Like you are constantly dealing with, how do I say this? With this idealistic idea of what a routine is. And I'm going to do this at 6 and this at 7, this at 8, this 9, 10. That's not how life works. That's not how anything works. We all have different days, different schedules. We feel different. And when we just take the time to actually evaluate and give yourself the beauty of flexibility, you allow yourself to be like, okay, then instead of me just being rigid, let me be like, okay, so I really like to meditate in the morning, but it doesn't matter which time. So some days I may feel to wake up and meditate right away because I'm, awake with more energy. Or maybe I don't feel that way and I feel like if I meditate, I could fall asleep again. So in that case, I'm going to do it after breakfast because by then I've woken up a little bit, I've got my caffeine and I feel better, right? That allows for flexibility. Now, does this work for everyone? No, it does not. A lot of people have very big time crunches. They have to really stick to that schedule. Just allow yourself the grace of sometimes you're going to do that habit and sometimes you won't. Create a priority list of the things that you must do and the things that you'd like to do. That is going to give you the ability of, okay, I have more time today, then I'm going to be able to add these 1 or 2 habits that I really like. Or I am really in a time crunch. I fell asleep. I'm really tired. I don't want to bother. So I'm just going to do my must do. And that allows you to be kinder to yourself and allow yourself to actually feel better on the day-to-day basis because you are making progress, because perfection is not going to take you anywhere. It's only going to give you anxiety and stress, and it's going to keep you in this loop of trying too hard and crashing down every single time. You could also do something which is called time blocking. So basically, you divide your day in 3: morning, midnight, and evenings. And what you do is you decide, okay, in the morning, these are the typical tasks that I must do. Midday, these ones. Evening, these ones. And it allows you to be flexible inside of it and allows you to be like, okay, so this morning, I want to eat breakfast, meditate, and answer some emails. Okay, but I'm not really feeling good to answer the emails yet. So I'm going to do the other 2 things first and then I'll answer my emails. Or you wake up that day and you're like, I'm not really hungry. I don't need to eat right away. So I'm going to meditate first and see if I'm hungry after. And if I'm still not, I'll go into my emails. And then if need be, halfway through the emails, I eat breakfast. That allows you to have the flexibility so that the day still is productive without being burning out. Got it? Another important thing is how you do your nighttime. Believe it or not, but nighttime is one of the most important routines, if not even the most important. Because yes, it's important how you start your day, but it's even more important how you end your day. Because that could be the difference in between sleeping better, relaxing more, reducing your stress, reducing your anxiety. Because let's be honest, if we lay our head in the pillow and then we just spend 45 minutes thinking about life and thinking all of the things that you need to do for the next day, you are not resting. You are just giving yourself anxiety. Okay. So here's how I like to, figure that thing out. Putting my phone away and out of my reach. I don't sleep with my phone besides in my bedside table. I actually have my desk is actually where I'm sitting right now, and I put it on the desk. Is it still relatively close? Yes. But is it out of reach of my arm's length? Also, yes. Another thing that I do is showering or bathing with no rush. I hate the feeling of just hopping in the shower and being. I can't. I really can't. First of all, to me, the feeling of the water hitting my body, it is so relaxing. It is literally one of my relaxation triggers. It's just like sounds of water and water like touching me, to the point that when I have an exam or I'm at work and I'm feeling really riled up and really like disconnected with myself, and I'm having this moment where like I'm having like this association with my body, I will literally go to the bathroom and I'll just click for the water to run and I'll wash my hands like 2 or 3 times. And when I mean wash, I mean just water, like plain old water, not even soap. I just want to have that feeling of the running water, because the cold water, along with the fact that it's water, completely relaxes my nervous system. Another thing that you can do is journaling without being profound. I always, and it pisses me off, I'm even getting close to this camera. Why, oh, why do we have to always journal for a particular reason of journaling? Like, what happened to people just writing diaries? What happened to people just being grateful for like the most mundane thing? Why do I always need to see people being like, oh my God, if I'm going to journal, I need to manifest and I need to do this? Girly pops, listen to me. You can literally just write one singular word if you feel like it. You could write one sentence saying, my day went well. You could literally just write about how grateful you are for the blue sky. It doesn't need to be of like, I am grateful for my money and I'm grateful for my parents and I'm grateful for. You don't have to. Really, you don't. What you can do is get into the thing of doing diaries. I love writing diaries. For me, it's really profound because, first of all, it's your life, it's your day. So you can literally just write about what happened. It could either be positive, negative, neutral, whatever, and gets you into the act of journaling without being super deep. You're just writing about your day. And yes, in the middle, you could be more profound, or you could be more grateful, or you could be poetic. But that is your thing of how you feel that day. You could literally do a sentence of, my day went shitty in the morning. My day went great in the afternoon. My day at night was amazing. I truly believe that you don't need to try so hard. So going on to the habit stacking, I wanted to show you or tell you a couple things that I do. So for me, brushing my teeth at night is something that I do literally every day. I brush my teeth, I floss, and I use mouthwash. But I really have a hard time sometimes to do my skincare, especially when it's times where I go really late in terms of studies. I'm like, ugh, I don't want to wash my face. I don't want to do my skincare. Even though it only takes me like 3 minutes, for some reason, sometimes I have this feeling of dread associated to it. So here's what I do, because I know that I cannot physically go to bed without brushing my teeth, because I literally will feel as if like I hate it. It's like the worst sensation for me when I'm sick and I don't even have the strength to at least brush my teeth. And what I do is that I do my skincare before I go ahead with my dental care, because I know for a fact that if I do that before as like a, I wouldn't say punishment, but as like, hey, if you do this, the reward is for you to brush your teeth. And it's kind of weird to say it that way, but it's how I feel. Because to me, like, I really cannot go to bed without brushing my teeth. I'll start imagining me getting like tooth decay from it. And I hate when I'm sick and I don't even have the strength of holding a toothbrush sometimes. So I literally will like ask my family to brush my teeth for me. But it is something that I do. Something else is for me, I have to start a study session at home with a tea. I love the idea of like having this pre-study prep. I feel like I study better. And also for me, it's really important for me to prep for the next day. I literally will not be able to even eat calmly if I think that I need to prepare my bag for work the next day or for school the next day. I literally will go through, who knows, like 10, 15 minutes without eating, just for the sheer fact that I really need to make sure that I have my food prep for the next day, that my bag is done, that I have everything in there. If I have any devices that need to be charging, that they're charging before I even can fathom the idea of eating, because I'll just be stress eating instead of calmly enjoying my meal. So, I want you for a moment to understand that you are not a blank slate. You're not starting this from scratch. You have been doing your routines and you have figured out some things that work. And now you really want to just rebuild it and readjust it for the current moment that you're in. And I can tell you right now, I didn't get to the point that I'm in by waking up one day perfectly and then sticking to it. I gave myself the permission of constantly trying again. And even right now, I am still readjusting my routine each and every time because things change, moments change. For example, I'm in college. So, like, this first year, like, I had two different schedules. The first semester was one schedule, the second semester was another schedule. For the next school year, I'm going to have two separate ones again. So, I need to give myself the permission to actually understand that my routine is going to change each and every time. Sometimes I'm going to have the ability to work out in the morning. Other times I won't. Other times I'll feel more tired. Other times I'll feel more energetic. Some days I feel like I need 15 cups of caffeine. Other days I don't even need any. So it's the case of you allowing yourself to reframe the fact that you don't need to have a perfect routine because your days can change from day to day. And you're not here to be perfect. You're here to do the best by yourself on that day. So, one thing that I would like to do with you is pick only one 5-minute ritual and do it every day. So, pick something that you're going to do every day as a way of grounding you. Opening up a window, doing your care, stretching, going to the gym. Pick something, even if it's just 5 minutes or even less, just to ground you in that moment in that day. Because the reality here is that you don't need to have this perfect routine. Also pick something that gives you energy. And what I mean by giving you energy is something that you do that will just shut off everything else. Such as, for example, in the mornings, no phone calls before 10 a.m. Basically, it's something that you pick in some point of time in your day where you just shut off because you know if you keep going, it's just going to burn you out. For me, one of my big things is eating a snack halfway through my study session. I really, really need to take a break halfway through the study sessions because if I feel like I'm just constantly looking at a screen, by the time that I'm like 2 to 3 hours in, I feel like I'm seeing everything cross-eyed and I'm like, dead. What I do is that I literally go ahead and I take the time to just pause, go eat a snack, watch some stuff, see some stuff, take like a 15, 30-minute, depending how I feel. And then I go back in and everything's fine. I still study and I still get the grades and everything still goes on. but I gave myself the moment so that by the end of the day, I'm not freaking out, frustrated, angry, burned out, and I'm just an emotional mess. Your pace is allowed to change. You are allowed to every single day or every single week for stuff to change and shift and modify. And as you could tell, because we're close to the end of all this, I didn't told you what to do. I didn't told you this is how you should do it. I didn't told you my routine. I didn't told you, hey, this is how I did it. I have lived a total of 30 suns in this world. I I am 30 and I know for a fact that just because I turned this age doesn't mean that I have it all figured out. I had to pivot in my life. I had gone from full time jobs to part time jobs to feeling like I was working from day to night and 24 hours. And who knows how much else that I had to deal with that I know for sure that many of you, including you, have probably gone through all kinds of different shifts and changes in your life. What you need to understand is that you need to give yourself the grace of allowing flexibility and allowing yourself to just do the best that you can every single day and allowing yourself the adaptability to take time for yourself, allowing yourself 5 minutes, 10 minutes to take a break, to slow down, to allow yourself to reconnect again with yourself, to let yourself breathe a little, to let yourself calm down. And at the same time, making a priority list. Okay, what do I really need to do today? What do I want to do because I know it's going to make me feel good, even if it's not productive? And I hate sometimes when I go online and I see these people putting these perfect routines as if they're doing it every day. They're not doing it every day. They're doing it for that specific video because they cleared out their schedule and they planned out everything, and it probably took them so much longer. And don't get me started with all the people that they're like, oh yeah, I went for like to the gym for 2 hours. And I'm like, did you actually? Did you actually? Because do you truly want me to believe that the same person that got up 30 minutes early, did a light makeup, pretending that they had no makeup on, to just set up a tripod with their phone or camera to record them pointing towards the bed of them waking up in the morning? Do you truly want me to believe that your routine is real? Do you truly want me to believe that you're honest? You're just putting out aesthetics, you're just putting out perfection. That's what Instagrammers and influencers and TikTokers do. And I know that you're probably looking at me now and thinking, okay, but you're also creating content. What's your deal? I know for a fact that a lot of things are fake. And those are the realest, are those that admit it, that their average wake up time is X amount, that they did set up the camera because it's obvious that someone set up the camera and everything is staged, that they picked the day after they did a deep clean out on the house and they show you the perfect angle each and every time. And my whole goal here is to tell you that I am who I am, that I also create content, and that I am honest of the fact that sometimes certain things are a little bit curated, including all these Pinterest perfect routines. I fell into those traps. I fell into the trap of thinking that I need to have a particular routine, that I needed to do certain things, when in reality, you don't. You don't need to do anything that you don't want to do. You don't need to have a 5 a.m. wake up time if you don't want to, or if you don't have to. I can tell you right now, I did wake up at 5 a.m. multiple times, and it was not for any other reason than for me to wake up and go to school, because I had class at like 9 o'clock, 8:30, and I had to be there, and transportation takes long, and you also need to get ready, and you need to eat breakfast because you should nurture yourself. And in the meantime, you have all the Instagrammers that you know for a fact that they don't need to wake up at 5. Those challenges of like, let me see if waking up at 5 makes a huge difference. Girlie, you'll go to bed early and it won't make any difference, because you'll have the same exact hours. As long as you always sleep 8 hours, you're going to have the same hours. The only difference here is that maybe if you're constantly being bombarded with emails, you'll feel a bit more quiet. And what matters here is you following your own circadian rhythm, you following your own instincts, allowing yourself flexibility, doing a priority list. of like, this is what I need to take care of first. This is what I need to get done first. And that is 10 times more important than any perfect routine, because also people do things in different ways. I am very much a visual learner. Anything that I want to make sure that I get into my head, I need to do it later in the day, not earlier in the day. Earlier in the day, my creative juices just come out. In the morning, I am perfect to figure out stuff for the podcast, figure out things that I want to edit, record, and everything. Anything that I want to learn, my ideal time is afternoon. My brain has calmed down. I have gone from the creative side of my brain to the logical side of my brain. I am able to absorb the information better. Nighttime, my brain dies. It completely dies. I can't be creative. I can't be logical. Normally, at that time, my brain wants complete and outer relaxation. I cannot handle light. I cannot handle loud noises. I want to meditate. I want to journal. I want to do all those beautiful things. A little like yoga. And that is me. Because, bestie, you are different. You have your own routines, your own schedules, your own things that you need to do. And you should adjust them according to your life, not according to what a beauty guru or lifestyle guru or a productivity guru tells you. You should do you, boo. Just saying. Now, if this episode felt like a breath of fresh air and a little different from the typical things that you tend to find online, I would love if you could follow and come say hi, because you can find me on Threads and Instagram and TikTok and right here on YouTube as well. And if you want to share with me all the struggles that you're having on the description, go on right ahead. And I would love if you could feel like home with me. So if you have any advice or anything that you would love to see right here with me talking to you, I would love to hear it. So I will see you next week on Tuesday right here on YouTube and Spotify. And I wish you a wonderful, wonderful week. Stay safe. Bye-bye.